chest. I explained once again, trying to reassure him. Sean Greiber does not like to fail, and we had to prove to some people back home, whose names I will not mention, that we were not crazy. So what more can you tell me about this David guy anyway? Do you really think he can help us? Sean asked. David operates a resort called the Reef House in Oak Ridge. He will help us. He's a treasure hunter at heart. Will you just trust me already? I explained. And besides, we can rent a small boat in Oak Ridge that can take us to the quay if he has better things to do. Look, we'll talk about it in the morning. I must sleep. The jet lag is killing me. So I lay down on my bed and tried to sleep. I have to call the wife. Is there a phone around here somewhere? Greiber grumbled. I quickly fell into the strange realm of dreams. As my unconscious took over my mind, I was back in my hometown, and I saw my father lying in a bed. He was pulling a great salmon out of the ocean. I could see myself walking beside him as a child. He seemed to be the master of life, a god with all the answers, and could never die. Then, out of nowhere came a great big blast like a nuclear explosion, which seemed to destroy the great scene, and I found myself upright and conscious, sitting in a hotel room bed, screaming at the top of my lungs. Sean was startled from his sleep in his bed across the room. He sat upright. Friesen! Are you all right, man? Yeah, it was just a dream, I mumbled. The next day, we made our way out of the hotel and towards Oak Ridge in the cab of a crazed Honduran who drove 100 miles an hour down the windy roads of Roatan. At all times he passed other cars and cursed at how slow all the other drivers on the road were. All he talked about in broken English was how the earthquake scared him last night and how that was nothing compared to the one he had in Nicaragua in the 1980s. This trip was already starting with that unique brand of chaos, which is the lifeblood of adventure. When we finally arrived at the Reef House, David greeted us loudly. Well, look who's back in town! It's the Hosers! When I first met him, I knew that deep down inside he was a treasure hunter at heart. He lived on Roatan most of his life and knew there was treasure out there somewhere, just waiting to be found. David had never searched for it because he was too busy running the Reef House. When you first meet him, he's so in your face that it's a shock. He has no problem speaking his mind or trying to pack as much vulgar language into a single sentence as possible. David does not care what anyone thinks of him, which is a quality for which I have a great deal of respect. He also knows everyone and everything about the island of Roatan, so you couldn't ask for a better guide. It was a cloudy day as our small boat bounced across the Kari,